In the year 1701, explorer and cartographer John Lawson visited Hatteras Island and observed evidence of Europeans and Native Americans living in what appeared to be assimilated, cohabitative existence. We know the natives were obviously there long before the Europeans, but who were these early European settlers and how did they get there? There is so much that we don't know. Researcher Mel Covey is attempting to change that. On Saturday, December 7th, Mr. Covey hosted an open forum where he presented much of his years of research on Hatteras Island and its early history. A compilation of historical records and geological evidence, Mel's compendium of research helps shed some light on the early history of Hatteras Island. Scouring deed records and land grants, Mel has compiled the names of nearly 200 families who likely played a role in the early settling of the island. Many of which, such as Faro, Austin, Scarborough, and more, are still prevalent on the island today.
I follow this information where it takes me, and then I realized as I'm assimilating all this stuff that a pattern is developing, and the pattern is showing that Europeans were here on this island before Lawson ever got here. Lawson was not the first European, and that makes sense. I mean, just logic would say that we're not the forbidden island. You have all this activity on three sides of us, everything but the ocean, okay? And even them going up and down. And yet nobody bothers to communicate with Hatteras Island or get the resources off of it. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Deed records and land grants from as early as 1712 mark the beginning of the official documented settling of the island. But there's more. These same names were already applied to geographical landmarks in the region at that time, and there's record of these same men arriving from Europe by boat as early as the 1660s.
Why do we call Scott's Reef Scott's Reef? Why is this Snow Aches? Why is Lambert's Marsh Lambert's Marsh? Who are these people? Where did these names come from? They never show up in a historical record here before. I've gone back and I've fleshed out possibilities. The only place that all of these names come together is in the decade that they arrived in Chesapeake. Too soon, too late, nothing fits. Their names were already laid down in the early 1700s. When the first landowners are coming down here to buy land, there are already European names down here.
This gives one plenty of reason to think that at least some of these family names must have been establishing their presence well before 1712. What's more, by mapping out the physical dimensions of these deeds and comparing and contrasting them with other early maps, we can start to get a more accurate picture of how this island is changing over time, a critical and often debated issue.
The history, the geology. When I look at those deeds and stuff, I see ecological succession of the forest. I see the formation of families, ties that bind. I see how surveying methods changed. I see how our words, the way we talk, speak, you see the metamorphosis of that all the way through that. It's a living, breathing organism almost. And we're still adding to it today. Not in the same fashion. I mean, everything's computerized, but the record is still being laid down. There's a tremendous amount of information there, way more than myself or a team of me could ever bring out. It takes a lot of help. So that's why I agreed to come here. Plant a seed, okay?
Covey is seeking to collaborate with a writer to further interpolate and publish his findings. For more information, both Covey's website and the full video of the discussion are listed in the links below.